How certain are you that U.S. markets will move to a T+2 settlement cycle?
Um, I am certain that the U.S. Settlement cycle will move to T+2. I think with the ICI endorsing the T2 initiative, as well as the DTCC working with SIFMA and other industry members to discuss the details, I'd say it's pretty certain based upon those things.
What are some of the first steps that a firm can take to ease the transition to T+2?
Some of the first steps a firm can take to ease the transition to T+2 is really sitting down and communicating with all areas of operations, trading, legal, and technology members of the group, and just considering, brainstorming all of the areas that would be impacted by a T+2 transition, starting with technology, really seeing whether you are capable to move to the T+2. I think the experience in the European market transitioning to T+2 is a good basis, and kind of leveraging off of that and identifying what the challenges and capabilities are from a technology standpoint, the behavioral, procedural, operational changes that will need to be made from a trading perspective and an operations perspective, and then from a legal perspective, making sure that all documentation is amended as necessary between brokers, custodians, and internally to prepare for the T2 transition.
And who within a securities firm should be involved in the move to T+2?
I'd say primarily there's the four main groups that need to be involved: the operations, the trading, legal, and technology. Aside from that, I'd say that you really need to communicate also with any vendors, with your brokers and custodians, to make sure that everyone involved in the process from start to finish is on the same page and able to make the transition smoothly.
Will a priority then emerge from that process? Like what to do first, second, and third?
I'd say initially probably the technology component would be the first thing, as well as the documentation component, because when you're moving through and actually going through the procedural changes that need to be made, the last thing you would want is being prepared for a T2 transition and then having it being held up because of documentation or technology constraints, something like that. I'd say those are the vital building blocks, and then from there really just communicating and finding out where everyone is in the process of the transition on all sides from start to finish of the trade.